Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today's Friday, August 11th. It is 6:20 right now. Market's going to open in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we will get started shortly. It's got a couple of things here to update and we should be on our way. That's good. That's good. All right, perfect. All right, let me send this link out to you guys here in the premium and we can start shortly. So, all right, guys, if you guys are new here, I'm sure a lot of you guys are, and you guys want to learn these strategies that we're covering, make sure to go to our website, kodikaitrades.com, click on unlock your free access right here, and you'll get access to all the videos explaining the strategies and pretty much all the previous sessions that we've had over the years. So again, if you guys are new here, go ahead and check out the website, kodikaitrades.com, click on unlock your free access, and then you'll get access to pretty much every live session that we've done over the past 5 to 7 years and all the strategies that we've been covering over those years as well. So, all right, guys, let me send this link out to you guys here in the premium and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a couple of things here to update. Good. Shiv's message. Shiv said, "Hey guys, is there going to be a live session today?" Yeah, there is. So, all right, we're here. Let me go ahead and just send this out real quick. It's good. Send this out over here. All right. All right, guys. Morning, everybody. Today is Friday, August 11th. Happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully, everyone had a great week so far. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes, 6:23 right now. I'll give a few moments for people to make their way in. We'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Nice. So Shiv over here said another good day. He took 2 L's yesterday, but he took this entry today, full TP on this high level momentum scalp. Nice work, Shiv. I'll take a look at that later when people make it into the room. Yeah, solid work right there. See if there's anything else here that I'm missing. I think we're good for the most part. So, all right, I'll give it a few moments for people to make their way in. I'm going to go ahead and post this up in one more place and we'll be ready to go, guys. All right, one last place. Look at it here. Looks good. All right, perfect. Looks like we are ready to go, guys. So good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today's Friday, August 11th. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. I'm going to start off by marking up liquidity over here on the weekly time frame. Let's see who's here so far. Morning, Maria. Morning, Dan. Morning, Marcin. Morning, Johnny. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Stern. Morning, Randy, Kenny, Karen, everybody. Let's start by marking up liquidity over here on the weekly time frame. So we got liquidity right there, right there, right there, right there, right there, there, and there. Daily over here. So I'm marking up pretty much all of the levels of liquidity right here. Go down to the 4 hour. There. Right there, right there. 2 hour. Go down to the 1 hour. As you guys can see, over the past couple of weeks, market's been super choppy. So there's like random levels of liquidity that have not been tested because the volatility has been kind of like, it hasn't really been consistent. Like you'll get spikes when news, like there was news this morning, if you guys saw the PPI news, you'll get like these random spikes of volatility based off news, and then it kind of flattens out. So you'll see a lot of these like levels here kind of overlap a little bit. You know, the strong levels of the weak levels are not like a consistent push all around, which is normal. So, you know, just a reminder, guys, we're in the summer season. So these like unusual price movements are typical for this type of market. That liquidity down there just got hit. I don't know if it'll keep pushing or if it won't, but there's a level of liquidity here that's currently running. Pre-market, obviously, I wouldn't take it pre-market. I look for that retest on open, and then obviously the next level down here. Let's see. I'll take a look at what the overall bias is. If it's not very strong, then obviously, you know, probably want to go for only 100 pips. If it's strong, then maybe go for the full 300. I don't think there's a very strong bias this morning. I think price is starting to shift from the strong bullish bias that's been going on for the past couple of weeks. So, all right, guys, morning, everybody. Looks like majority of you guys are here so far. Today's Friday, August 11th. It is 6:28 right now. Market's going to open in about 2 minutes. So I've marked up liquidity right here. There's a couple levels. There's a level right here that got hit pre-market. Another level over here that's possibly going to get hit on open if it continues to drop. Let's take a look at the technicals first. So looking over here on the shorter time frames, price is currently bearish right now. You can see over here on the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10 minute time frames that price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red, pivots are angling down. The one thing that you want to keep in mind is that price started dropping around news time. So a lot of this could just be movement based off the PPI news this morning. So you might want to be careful with chasing the sells. But you know, if anything, that's probably going to be our bias with regard to the trend. So you can see right here, the level right here is getting retested. It's probably going to push down to hit TP. And it's on its way down right now. So this is going to be the trend for the day. For the short term, it's bearish. Long term is also bearish. You can see over here on the 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour time frames that price is bearish. Price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red. Pivots are angling down. The thing that you want to be careful for is opening price, because market's going to open in about 50 seconds. And what might happen here is price might be manipulated to the upside before it comes back down, right? Because news was bearish already. So it's either price is going to follow news over here at 5:30 where it spiked down, or it's going to correct back up and then come back down, right? So you want to be careful with any entries here. The liquidity push right here, pre-market already hit full TP. You can see right there the marker. So the 100 pips got hit right there already. It's already done with. If you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, it's fine. I didn't take the trade. It's not something I'd take because it's so close to market opens. There's so many bad things that can happen with this specifically. So I personally wouldn't take it, but it did hit TP right there. And we'll see what happens when the market opens in about 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Market is now open. Look how price is pushing up right here. A lot of back and forth movements, correcting from the news drop earlier at 5:30. One of two things will happen. Price will either push up or it'll come back down and continue dropping from where it's currently at. Looking over here at retail sentiment is currently 70% short. This indicates that 70% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So you typically want to do the opposite and buy. However, it's not very strong. Typically, you want it to be above 65%, which it is right now, but it's pretty much sitting flat at 70. We're looking over here at the fundamentals. Fundamentals are currently down 70 points, not very high. You typically want it to be down 100 or above 100. Right now it's at 70, so it's pretty much neutral bearish right now. So it's a bit of a mix, right? This is bearish, neutral. This is bullish, technicals are bearish, you have a mixed bias right now. So there's not really much to look at because you don't know where price is really going to go, right? There's no real strong bias at the moment. ATR is currently at 17 right now. It's actually very low. It's not very high right now. It should be pretty high. This is opening price. And we'll see where this ends up going. There's liquidity coming back down, retesting that same level. We'll see if it makes it down to the next level down below. But as I mentioned, you want to be a little careful with the entries here because a lot of this movement is going to be based off the news at 5:30. It's either going to be a follow-up or it's going to be a correction, right? It's either going to follow through and continue dropping, or it's going to correct back up and fill maybe this gap over here from the news drop earlier today. So what I'm going to do here first is I'm going to mark up news price, go to 5:30. It's obviously that big red candle. You guys, it's pretty obvious, right? So it's where the movement happened from earlier today. Let me check if there's any other news here that we should be aware of. So there was news at 5:30 right here. Obviously, PPI news is pretty much mixed. Negative, year over year was positive. Everything else is negative. So that's why price kind of dropped a little bit. We have Michigan consumer sentiment at 7 o'clock. Some more high impact news. Looks like that lower level of liquidity just got hit right there. Yeah, that thing just flew. So there goes the liquidity push from this morning. I didn't take the trade, unfortunately. I was thinking about maybe taking it for 100 pips, but I totally missed it. It happened too quickly. If you guys took it, looks like it blasted like literally right through. Came down, hit it, and went straight to the 100 pip mark. In this situation, I'd go for 100 pips instead of the 300 because of, obviously we don't have a very strong bias. Retail sentiment still indicating to take a buy. Fundamentals are pretty much flat right now. They're like bearish neutral. The only thing that's really indicating that price will likely drop would be the technicals here, right? So that's why I typically wouldn't necessarily want to go for the full 300 here. I'd only go for the 100. So if you guys took it, both the liquidity pushes that I marked this morning, this one pre-market hit, this one right here hit too. And we'll see where this ends up going. I'm gonna wait for price to kind of stabilize a bit because obviously when there's a heavy news day like this, you want to be a little careful with taking certain entries because this will happen, right? You don't want to hold on to it for too long. You want to be in and out. I saw this meme yesterday about scalpers. It was like a cartoon where like this guy would come and then he would like punch something and then he'd run away. And it was like him punching, taking his profit and then running away. It's like how we are as scalpers, right? We get in at our liquidity push, we basically punch our profit and then we run away. We're out, like we're in and out super quickly. And that's exactly what you guys got to do here if you guys are scalping. See, if you guys got greedy and you held on to it, you would have been into massive drawdown right now. But you just get in, hit your TP, out, get in, hit your TP, out. That's what scalping is, right? So yeah, if you guys took it right there, it looks like a lot of you guys here caught it actually. Ships, they got both liquidities, one trade, and they'll sit one more trade and he's out for the day. Maria caught it, Maddie caught it, Ben Hartwick took it, Kaner caught it, Kenneth caught it. Nice work, guys. Dejan's asking the blue liquidity lines are stronger ones. Yeah, that's correct. The blue lines over here are the liquidity that are 1 hour and above. Everything red is below 1 hour. So red is weaker, blue is stronger. Other than that, I think we're good. Yeah, Martha caught it as well. Nice work, guys. So a lot of you guys caught that liquidity there. I was kind of tempted to catch it, but like I mentioned, it happened too quickly. I would have had to have been watching it very closely, but it's all good. I'm glad a lot of you guys here caught it. And yeah, Maddie said anticipated the reversal. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm being careful right here, guys, because this here is like, I mean, there's a lot that can happen right here, right? For one, it's Friday, 2, it's summer season, and 3, high impact news, pre-market, and then also right here at 7 o'clock, we have, it's just basically some more inflation news. You have PPI, producer price index, yesterday with consumer price index. And then again, later we have Michigan inflation expectations. So we just had inflation news, a lot of inflation news today. So a lot of this increased volatility was expected, nothing out of the random here. I mean, just the fact that it's Friday, that's why I'm being a little more careful because you guys know how Friday is. Typically Friday is one of the riskier days to trade. Fridays and Mondays. So we got open price right there. I'm going to go ahead and mark a price right here as well. So now we're just waiting for a confirmation of direction. Once we have that direction, we can possibly look for an entry. I'm hoping we can get that direction before 7, because obviously once 7 hits, that's when we're going to start to see some crazy movement because of the news at 7 o'clock. All right, back to our main chart over here. I'll go ahead and put up the overall bias for today. Today's overall bias, we got retail sentiment, which is bullish, 70% short. We have fundamental bias, which is bearish neutral. It's a negative 60 points, not very strong. Short-term technicals, bearish, long-term technicals, bearish. So you can see, I mean, there's no overall bias right now. It's kind of mixed. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up the levels over here so we can see market structure a little bit better. I think having the levels marked up here really helps with market structure, because you can really understand where price is really going versus having a clean chart. Because I think 10 points is it's a good gauge to see if there's, actual volatility in the market. Because if the price isn't moving at least 10 points, it's probably not moving at all, right? We have that, plus we have the ATR down below. ATR is currently at 23 right now. It's not very high, but it is decent for open right here. Most of it is just based off these more recent candles right here where price starts to pick up a bit. So ATR is pretty decent. Past 14 candles, average true range is 23 points, which is it's beneficial and it's good for our analysis here. So we currently have a bullish shift in trend. It's not really confirmed yet, but we do have a bullish shift in trend over here. The pivots aren't very strong yet, so I'm not looking to take any entries just yet. I just kind of want this to spread out a little bit. I'm looking for this red pivot to get below all the pivots, basically. Once the red pivot gets below all the pivots, then we could possibly look for an entry here. I mean, if you guys are looking for something risky, this would be the possible risky entry right here, because obviously at this point, right here. And guys, I see some questions in the chat. I'm not going to answer any questions until like maybe the end of the session. So Marcin, I do see your question there. I'm not going to answer any questions until like maybe later, because lately a lot of people have been complaining that I've been focusing too much on answering questions and I'm missing trades and I'm missing analysis and stuff like that. So you guys are free to put your questions in the chat. I do see your questions, but I'm not going to answer them until either we have some downtime or until the end of the session. So if we get closer to 7, which is news right here, and I haven't answered your question yet, maybe I'll answer your question at that point. If not, we'll answer at the very end. So yeah, feel free to put your questions in the chat, but I'm not going to answer them. I'm not ignoring them. It's just that I'm going to focus here on the charts on these entries here so I don't miss anything for the day. So there's no entries for me to take right now because there's no confirmation of trend yet. So we have bullish momentum here. Price is above the pivots, but you can see here that the pivots are not yet, they're not spread out yet. So we're looking for this red pivot to be below all the pivots over here, and the trend meter obviously is already green. So I mentioned if you wanted to take a risky trade, it'd be right here. It looks like it probably is going to hit, but it is a bit of a risky trade because the trend here hasn't really confirmed yet, and the trend meter down below keeps shifting. So if you look over here down on the bottom, the trend meter will shift from like green to blue to sometimes red if price drops a little bit lower. And you can see right there, it's back to blue, right? So the trend meter is not like the best deciding factor with regard to the trend right now. So I'm not in this position, but again, if you guys wanted to take something a little bit risky, this would have been the issue, the entry for you guys to maybe possibly take. I'm still looking for the pivots over here to shift. So looking back over here, I'm looking for the red pivot to be below all the pivots, and then I'll start looking for some entries here. But you can see that the volatility is very high. There's no clear direction. Price pushes up for a little bit, and it pushes right back down. At this point, one of two things can happen, right? Price can either continue pushing down or it'll push right back up. So either price corrects back down and it drops back lower, or it swings all the way back up. Nice break, Dejan. Yeah, Dejan said that he caught it and it hit CP for him. So, all right, we are just waiting for confirmation of direction. We still don't have a direction here. Looks like price might be correcting back down. If it corrects back down, then that's completely fine. We have a sell signal here again, price is coming back down. If this is the case and price continues to drop from where it's currently at, then we may be looking for possible entry here. And where's my tool at? I hate how they change the tools here on, there we go, path. They keep changing the tools here on TradingView. All right, so price is dropping right here. If it drops lower and retraces to this point, then we can take possible entry at that point there for the sell, because the trend is still bearish here. It didn't really shift. So we need price to drop lower. It's too high right now. We need price to drop below this point, come back up, and then come back lower from this point here. Let me go over here to the clean chart. I'm going to go to markup structure so that you guys can see exactly where price is going. High point right there. Low point right there. All right, so as you guys can see here, price is just in a really big range at the moment. In a big range is trying to establish which direction it wants to go in. Again, I'm not going to take any entries until price drops below here. So price is still too high right here. It's above the momentum. I need price to come below this point, retrace, and then come back down. If we get something like that, then great, I'll look for entry. Right now, we don't have that yet, so we just got to wait for confirmation before we can take this entry. So it's just all about patience, guys. You know, obviously, I try to emphasize that as much as possible. If you guys have noticed, you know, the only losses we had in the past, like say for the past couple of weeks, the only losses that we had were because of my FOMO. Like a lot of times we take a trade and then we try to enter somewhere above here, right? Because technically you could have taken a trade over here if you wanted to. But I'm not going to take those trades because those are, I consider those FOMO trades because typically you don't wait for the actual confirmation. So you can see over here that the red pivot is above all the other pivots. This indicates that price is in a bearish trend. You can also see down below the trend meter is red. So everything here pretty much indicates that we are in a bearish trend. We have a sell signal right here. Price is below the pivots. Pivots are angling down. The red pivot is above all the other pivots and the trend meter down below is red. So with that said, we have a bearish trend. We have bearish momentum. We're obviously looking for a sell here. But in order for us to have that entry, we need price to be somewhere down below here. Until we get price down here, there's no entry because realistically, price is just going sideways over here, right? That's all price is doing. Okay, I see what they did here. So you can see over here that TradingView, they keep making changes here. And I hate that they don't like email you or tell you like, hey, we made adjustments. But what they did is they just put the arrows in the same area, which this should have been like where it initially was to begin with. The path symbol and the arrow symbol in the same area. All right, so we have this pending buy signal. If this is the case, then we might have a push back to the upside. But right now, we just don't have anything. So realistically, price is just ranging. You can see over here in the clean chart, price is ranging now between the opening price and this upper level over here. If price drops below, it'll probably just range below here as well. But until there's a new level in the middle over here, there's just nothing for us to necessarily follow. But it's just in a big range. I mean, price is either going to range above or it's going to range below. So it either stays above here in range or it drops below here and it ranges down here. So here we go. As price pushes back to the upside, it's now at that upper level again for a retest. No buy signal there yet. But you can see over here on the trend meter down below. This is why I don't base a lot of the entries off the trend meter because it's a little bit lagging and sometimes a little bit too fast. It's never really on point. That's why I use in conjunction with the pivots. So you can see over here on the pivots, the red pivot is in between. It's still not below all of them. But if it does, then we can start looking for entry. Yeah, exactly. Patricia said it's going to consolidate until news. I agree. 6:45 right now. So if you don't get a direction in the next 5 minutes, then we're probably going to have to wait until news passes at 7 o'clock. Yeah, price might just consolidate here and might start to just squeeze. might start to squeeze a little bit. I can see the squeeze starting to set up here because you can see from this high point, price is coming down. From this low point right here, price is coming back up. So I might squeeze here until we get to news price. And then from here, price will break out in either direction, of course. My guess is that price, if it does break out and it squeezes like this, it's probably going to head down. Right, that's my guess. The reason why I'm thinking that is because the PPI news, so the inflation news from this morning was negative, right? We have more inflation news right here. If it follows what was going on here, then it's just going to drop further, right? That's basically what's going to happen. So if it's going to go where it needs to go, where it's supposed to go, it should be dropping, but I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens at that point. You know, so that wish you had someone in love with me, like the way the market is in love with the opening price. Yeah, price is just sitting around opening price right now. You can't really see it too well here because I have so many things marked up on the chart. But if you look over here on the markups, price is just bouncing between this upper level, like basically the zone, and opening price down here. It keeps going back and forth. All right, so we still don't have a setup here. I mean, we still have the same sell momentum, but price still has not come down below this point. So yeah, until price comes down below that point, not really going to be much of use for us. All right, I think I have all my shortcut tools up here, so I don't have to keep going into these are basically all the tools I use: long position, short position, rectangle, etc. This is gonna be a lot easier. Yeah, so I'm basically looking for something like this, price to come down below, because we still have the sell momentum. So this is what I'm looking for. Once we get a buy momentum, then I'm going to start looking for the opposite. If we get a buy momentum like that right there, then I'll be looking for price to do the opposite, right? Yeah, I think price is just going to consolidate until news. So let me go back to that question that that Marcin had. So Marcin said, and the stronger liquidity levels marked on the time frames over 1 hour. Yes, you're correct. So everything over the 1 hour time frame is blue. Everything below the 1 hour time frame is red. So weak liquidity is red. Strong liquidity is blue. I didn't mark it to specific time frames because I mean it's pretty self-explanatory. You'll know exactly what's what. And I think that puts too much emphasis on like irrelevant information. You just need to know what's strong and what's weak. It doesn't matter if it's a 10-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, it's still weak versus, you know, the 1 hour is over here. So let's see. Ben Hartwig said, thanks, Sean. I'm out for the day. Have a nice weekend. Definitely, Ben Hartwig. We'll see you back here on Monday. So it looks like a lot of you guys actually called it a day already. Some of you guys are just happy with your profits and you're just done, which is completely fine. If you guys are good for the day, you guys took all liquidity pushes. There was 2 liquidity this morning. This and this both hit full TP. You know, feel free to call it a day. I haven't taken anything yet, so I'm going to wait for my opportunity here. Once we get that, then we'll see where this ends up going. Let's see. CJ's asking, other than the liquidity push, did I miss anything? Lost my connection there for a moment. Not yet, CJ. We got news coming up over here about 7 o'clock, so you're pretty solid. There's nothing going on at the moment. Price is just squeezing right now. So as you can see, price is just getting tighter and tighter from where it's currently at. And it's probably going to, you know, obviously it's probably just going to squeeze until we get to that point. It's going to squeeze. And then once it gets to news price right here, it's either going to break up, break down. So best case scenario is like, it'll actually move in a direction, right? That's going to be best case scenario. It moves in a direction. it's probably not going to move smooth like that. I think this is what might happen. Price might go the opposite direction up, consolidate, and then come back down super hard. You know, just from experience, that's kind of what I see going on there, possibly. I mean, there's not much going on here. You can see over here on this clean chart, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just a sideways move. Let's go refresh this chart. Yeah, here goes the trend. As you can see over here on the trend, the higher time frames are still bearish. However, the lower time frames are more on the neutral side now. So we're going to switch this back to neutral. So it's a pretty mixed market. There's not really too much to look at with regard to bias. I mean, you can see price just going back and forth. Retail sentiment's still bullish. Fundamentals are neutral, I guess. Let's take a look at everyone's profits so far. So we've got just copy this over real quick. All right, so we got Maddie over here. Or also big congrats to Oscar over here. So Oscar is basically almost past this challenge right here. So a couple of our members here just got past challenges. Congrats to Oscar over here with his FTMO. He's had really good consistency. He's barely had any losses, straight wins for the most part. So we had Oscar there who passed his FTMO or about to pass his FTMO. We also have Sam over here. He just passed his the funded trader challenge. So, you know, big congrats to a couple of our members here who just passed their challenges. Also, Maddie, congrats to him for getting funded on Funded Next. It's another funding company. I haven't tried them yet, but Maddie's getting funded with them right now. He just turned in his documents, signed his contract, and we'll see if that works well. So yeah, definitely. Oscar said just passed it right now and running with it. Nice work, Oscar. Yeah, so you can see Oscar in the chat over here on Zoom. He's the one that just posted his passing for FTMO. He joined us, I think, like, when did you join, Oscar? Like in February, I think. So he's been with us for a while and he's been very consistent. You know, I'm sure at the beginning he was pretty rocky and now he's doing great. So it's just a matter of consistency, guys. Keep on going. Like, don't ever give up and just keep pushing, because eventually you're going to hit your stride and you're going to start passing challenges left and right. That's kind of like what happened with Maddie over here when he first started with me. Maddie joined, like, I think 2 years ago. Just kind of rocky back and forth, and then all of a sudden everything clicked and he started passing challenges like nonstop. So great work to everybody here. Some profits over here from Maddie on his top step account, 420 on his first account, and then a total profit of 420 on his second account. Nice work, Maddie. Looks like you probably took that copy thing, right? No, it looks like it. The copy account. All right, it's 6:53 right now, guys. We have a possibility of entry right here, but it's like way too close to news, so I don't think I'll take it. It's just a little too close to news right now. Yeah, it's 6:54. So this is yeah, it's a little risky, in my opinion, for sure. Yeah, CJ said it's great when you can pass challenges in the summer market, for sure. Yeah, exactly, CJ. The summer market's like, it's very tricky. So I mean, it's tough, right? It's tough to find the consistency during the summer. I mean, it's really just sticking to your game plan. You know, whatever trading plan you guys have, stick to it. Like, if you want to just take my trades here on the live, then just stick to that. If you guys want to take my trades on the live plus your trades, you know, do that every day and don't really change up. Because if you change up, that's when you start to mess up. So stick to whatever you did to, you know, find that consistency. All right, if we get a red candle right here, there's a possible entry that could happen at this level right here. The only problem is that we have news at 7 o'clock. So I'm probably not going to take a trade. It's too close to news right now. News is at 6:55. Or sorry, news is at 7 and it's 6:55 right now. So the news is going to happen in about 5 minutes. So the last thing I want to do is get into a position and then be stuck in it for the next 5 minutes, and then price spikes once it gets to news. So I'm not going to take the trade here. If it does come up, I'll mark it up for you guys. So if you guys want to follow it, you'll have an idea of like where your entry should be if you are taking it. We currently have a bullish trend here. We have bullish momentum. So if we get a red candle right here, the entry is going to happen right there. If you're looking to take this trade, again, I'm saying that this is a risky trade because we have news at 7. So there's two things that can happen here. Price will either consolidate here and you'll kind of just be stuck with this position, and then it'll spike to your TP or it'll spike to your stop loss, right? I don't want to take a gamble like that, so I'm not going to take the trade. Or what can happen here is price can come down, fill your order, and go straight to your TP. Like, it's either going to be a really good move or it's going to be a really bad move. So I don't want to take that risk. I don't like the feeling of not knowing where price is going to go. Yeah, Dejan said, everyone please wait until after news. Exactly. Yeah. I don't really recommend taking this, but I'll mark it up just for you guys to see if you guys want to take it. Plus it's Friday. Yeah, Seren said, plus it's Friday. It's just a very risky move to take in general. For one, it's Friday. For two, it's inflation news. 3, it's summer market. You know, there's a lot of reasons here not to take certain trades, and you can see right there the big spike to the upside. These random spikes in volatility is really what can make or break your account. And you don't want to take trades that'll make or break your account. You want a steady progress to the upside, right? So just focus on the quality trades. This trade never actually filled, so it's technically not filled yet, and it's fine because I wouldn't want to take it anyways. Exactly. Yeah, ships, if someone did it already hit CP. Yeah, no, it's not one that I would personally want to take. So I'll just take this off here. We have the news coming up in a few minutes. I'll just go ahead and take a look at everyone's profits before we get to that point. Kenny over here. So let's see. Kenny sent his profits, total profit 1,620 for the day. Nice work with that win, Kenny. So solid profits right there. We've got Sam over here, total profit of 2,590 for the day. Nice work, Sam. We've got Andrew over here. Andrew said, finally not trading in my car before work. Get to focus now that he's on vacation for 10 days. Yeah, no, definitely. Andrew over here, if you guys are on the Zoom, you guys will typically see Andrew like in his car trying to trade with us while he's in traffic. But he finally got to trade from home today. He did pretty solid, got to focus, took the trade, won it, and he's done. He locked in a total profit of 1,370 for the day. Nice work, Andrew. Yeah, you guys like, you know, there's a huge difference if you guys can focus. I know it's hard if you guys are trading at work, or if you guys are trading in the car, or if you guys are trading on the run. My advice is, if you guys can't focus, just don't trade, right? Wait until you can focus and be on your chart and actually wait for these entries. Because if you guys are trying to force trades, it's never going to end well. It's like never going to end well. Like, if you guys remember Steven, a lot of you guys know Steven. Steven was trying to trade while he was at the airport. This dude almost missed his flight, and he was trading while he was running, like to catch his flight. And he ended up taking a trade and forgetting to close it. And then he came back from his flight to India. He like flew to India. He was on the plane for like 16 hours or 18 hours. He came back and his account was blown because he never closed a trade. Don't let that be you, right? You guys remember that when that happened, a lot of you guys. He was so confused why he blew his account, but he never closed the account, and his trade was running for like 16 hours. So just don't let that happen to you. Make sure that you're focused, and you don't have to be that focused. You just have to be able to not forget to close your trade, and then also make sure that you get proper entry. So just, keep that in mind. Yeah, Natasha over here said it's a huge difference when you don't have to trade while working. Yeah, I agree, Natasha. 100%. I mean, I used to do the same thing. I used to trade at work all the time, but thankfully I just trade. I don't work anymore, so I can just focus on trading. All right, we got news over here in about a minute. Let's see what happens. We got news coming up in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see what happens here. Huge spike to the upside. Is doing exactly what I anticipated. I won't be surprised if price comes right back down. I think this is going to be a fake out. This is literally what I thought was going to happen. And I think price will come right back down. I'm going to go ahead and mark up news price right there. So we'll see what happens here. But we do have news price marked up right there. I mean, if you see like a V1 variation, this thing's probably going to come right back down. So we got that right there. Let's check the news real quick. What was the news? So the news at 7 o'clock was actually positive. So 5-year inflation expectation was negative, consumer expectations was negative. Sentiment for the month was positive. So it was a mixed bag. It was, some of it was good, some of it was bad. But yeah, this is exactly what I was kind of warning you guys about. The trickiness of trading news, because you know, whether news is good or bad, it doesn't really matter. It can be good or it can be bad, it can be positive, but in a lot of instances, this thing might just come right back down. So see how these, it's not a double wick or a double body, but it looks like if this does close, so if this candle closes red, I think this will probably come down. If you see a V1 variation anywhere here, I think price is going to come back down and fill this candle right there. Might not happen right now, but you know, if it looks like it's going to turn around, I think that's going to be the case. Because I've seen this play out before. Like we've traded, I mean, if we traded like over 70 NFPs, we probably traded over 7 or more than 70 inflation expectation newses, like CPI and PPI. This happens every month. So it's not like this is it's a once in a lifetime thing. This happens very often. So I'm going to wait for price to kind of stabilize a bit. I would be a little careful about chasing the push to the upside, because this thing might just come crashing right back down. I think one thing to look out for would be some sort of exhaustion of price, or even a V1 variation. It looks like if this candle closes red, it'll be a V1. So we got 40 seconds left on here. If this closes red, then it's going to be a double body, and it'll probably come crashing right back down, because you can see this thing will probably fill this entire gap down here if it does end up, or not, maybe not the whole thing, but at least this gap right here. And if it drops further, it'll probably come back to opening price. So this is the first level, the candle, and if it keeps dropping down to opening price right there. Let's see, nice. Shiv said he caught the upper level liquidity. Yeah, upper level liquidity right there. So all my levels of liquidity here just got hit, if you guys are following it. Yeah, literally all the levels right here got hit. So every liquidity level that I marked, I probably would be careful about the higher level. It's kind of it's very overextended at this point. But all the levels of liquidity here that I marked up, red level over here at full TP, blue level full TP, red level full TP, red level full TP. The next level is going to be right here. But again, I'd be a little careful about looking for entry here, because obvious reasons, right? Price is overextended. See the double body right there? This might be the reversal. Not that I recommend chasing it, but this is probably going to be the reversal right here. Double body rejection. It's got 18 seconds left on the candle. It's just a little risky, guys. 10 seconds. And we'll see if this comes back down. A lot of times I just like to see my analysis play through, even though I'm not in the position. I like to see my analysis play through from one of these points. I mean, if anything, it might push up higher and test the sessions first before it comes down. So this is a problem here, because this can be a fake out in either direction, right? Now that price is kind of flat right here, price can fake out and go up, or it can fake out and go down, right? My guess is that eventually, I think eventually price will continue dropping, because it is a V1 variation right there. I don't know how far it'll drop, but it'll probably drop enough. Let's see if the V1 there already hit, actually. No, not yet. But it's just too risky, because there's still space up here. So there's still space for it to come up and touch the sessions right there before it actually, you know, pushes through. This could have been a possible entry too for a momentum scalp pullback, but again, like I mentioned, it's not a good area to really be trading in right now, because there's just so many areas here where you can get caught. Yeah, so it looks like the momentum pullback scalp right here hit. So price came down, retraced, entry would have happened right there. If anybody caught it, it would have went straight to TP. Not a clean move, but straight to TP right there. All right, so I'd be careful about taking any entries at this point, because there could be fake outs in either direction. Price can just go sideways for a bit, and then eventually it'll come down or it'll go up. I just need to wait for it to reset. A lot of this movement here is based off the news. You're either going to see a correction back down or you're going to see a continuation to the upside. Let's see a couple more profits over here. We have Andreas, total profit of 1,170 for the day. Nice work, Andreas. Took that buy right there. Looks like he caught the liquidity. So nice work catching that liquidity right there, Andreas. We got Dejan over here, total profit of 223 for the day. Nice work, Dejan. We got Kevin here, total profit of 21,497 for the day. All wins here. Looks like Kevin caught some liquidity to the upside as well. We got Shiv over here. Nice work, Shiv. So Shiv locked in a total profit of 4,125. Nice work, Shiv. Right there. You caught the moves, caught some more trades over here. Total profit of 7,940. Wow, that's crazy. So Shiv locked in a ton of profit right here. He had a couple back and forths, but for the most part, total profit of 4,930 for the day. So great work right there, Shiv. Yeah, you killed it with those liquidity pushes. It looks like you hopped into a lot of them. Actually, yes, you locked in another one right here. Actual total profit of 5,380. So total profit of 8,390 for the day and net profit of 5,380 just for today. So amazing work right there, Shiv. Took some liquidity pushes, took some high-level momentum scalps. Yeah, you caught this one right here pre-market. Nice work, Shiv. Yeah, it's a lot nicer, right? Trading on TradingView. I think anybody who started to trade on TradingView using Tradeovate, it's really smooth because you guys can see the actual moves here. Plus, you don't have much spread when you guys are taking, these specific trades. We have Kenny over here, more profit, total profit of 1,620. Nice work, Kenny. And I think that's about it for right now. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them out. Otherwise, I'm going to wait for the market to provide a direction. And then we'll look at where this ends up going. Yeah, Shiv said 100%. He's a bit said Top Step cut them off, but it seems that they fixed the issues. Yeah, so Shiv has been trading on Top Step on TradingView, and he said that it seems like all of the issues have been resolved. So I think Top Step will bring them back, Shiv. I think it's just a matter of time until they do, but they will bring them back eventually. It's just going to be once everything has kind of been confirmed. But it seems like it works fine. I mean, I trade directly on Tradeovate, so it's not a big deal for me. But yeah, everything else looks pretty smooth for the most part. All right, so price hasn't really done anything. So price is still sitting around this area. I'm hoping that we get a sell signal, because once we get that sell signal, we can look for price to possibly swing back up. So I'm looking for a sell signal here to come up. And then once that sell signal happens, I'm going to look for it to push back. There's no real confirmation here of like what's going to happen. If we get a sell signal here, one scenario is sell signal, buy signal, and then I look for the continuation back to the upside, right? If we get a sell signal and it stays sell, that's completely fine. Price will just have to drop below here. And then we look for entry down there, right? There's just not much direction here. Let me go over here and mark up the zones on the clean chart so you guys can see things a bit better. So we got this right there. And it's just in another area of a range. So if anything, there's two different scenarios here. Price will either drop down from this point and retest this area, or price is going to climb and break above this area here. Two different scenarios that can play out. Doesn't really matter what plays out. We're just waiting for a confirmation. So it doesn't really make a big difference for us. We're just waiting for a confirmation here. Once we get that confirmation, we're going to take a trade in either direction. All right, perfect. We got a sell signal right there. It's exactly, or it didn't actually close, but that would have been fine. Shiv's asking, just to confirm, if you have more than one Top Step account, how do you link them all? So if you have two accounts, if you want to trade them separately, Shiv, you can trade them down here. So all you got to do is go down here, see where it says your account. You click on that and you can choose all your accounts from down here. If you want to trade them separately, that's how you would do it. If you want to trade them as a copier, then you would use Tradeovate. So you go to the Tradeovate platform, you have to enable it in your settings. You have to enable group trading, and then you would take it through there. So, but you'd have to trade on Tradeovate. You can't trade on TradingView, which is not a big deal because you'll put your pending orders on Tradeovate, and then it'll show up on your TradingView. So you can still see it on your chart. It's just not, it's not like a regular copier where you just take a trade on one account and then it copies over. Yeah, you'll need 2 screens for sure, unless you want a small chart screen. Yeah, just check the videos out on the Top Step website, and it'll explain. See you on there. All right, so we got the sell signal here. This is perfect. I'm looking for another buy signal. If we get that buy signal, then I'm gonna look for a continuation to the upside. If not, then I'm gonna look for price to come back down further, right? So you guys remember the markup that I marked up over here? I said there was a double body, price was gonna fill this candle, and that's exactly what's happening, right? So if you guys remember earlier, I said, hey, look, there's a V1 variation. This is probably gonna be the reversal pattern. And what do you think happened here? Exactly that, right? So, this is why I always mention to you guys, like, it's repetition. Like, if you guys have a specific asset you like to trade, it's doing pretty much what I was expecting, right? So I mentioned earlier, it's either going to fill the lower end of this, like it's going to fill this candle. First level is going to be this first part, this candle right here. And then it's either going to continue dropping back down, V1 variation, price is coming down. It's probably going to retrace and fill this candle. Once it fills a candle, it's either going to bounce back up or it's going to continue dropping to opening price down below here. Right? There's just a lot of areas here to look at. I don't like trading when there's too many scenarios. Like, for example, right here, I have too many scenarios drawn up, right? Price can either come down or it can go up. That's too much of a risk for me. So for me personally, I would rather like to see a better confirmation. So if I get a buy signal here, like say we get a buy signal at some point, I want this to push up and then I can take the trade up here. At that point, I have 1 scenario instead of 2. Or 3. There's actually like 3 scenarios there for the other entry. Right here, there's just like 1 or 2 at this point. Price, it's either going to play out or it's not. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said the more scenarios, the lower probability of the trade. And I agree with you 100%. There goes that buy signal I just mentioned. Look at my markup right here. That's what I'm looking for. Got a buy signal, I'm looking for price to push up higher. Look for it to retrace. And enter from that point there whenever I get that opportunity. So you just got to be patient and wait for these setups to come to you. They're going to come to you eventually, guys. Like, if you're patient enough, they'll come to you. So this pretty much knocked out the other scenario, price coming back down further. And now we're looking for price to actually push up higher. And that's perfectly fine because we have liquidity sitting up here, right? So this all works out in our favor. This is what we're looking for. All right, so I need price to push up a little bit past this area. Once it pushes up, then we want it to retrace to this level here or higher the better. But if it retraces that level, I'm fine. That level is going to be the 10 mark, which is going to be right there. Yeah, off. What happened here? Okay, there we go. I'm still trying to figure out Tradeovate a little bit. It's not as clear cut to me just yet. All right, so I need price to push up slightly from where it's currently at. Like I need price to push past this black line right here, basically. This right here is too close. So I need it to keep pushing up a little bit higher. The lowest I'll take entry is going to be at this point right here. That's the lowest I'll take it. So this is too low right here. The reason for that is because the momentum's down here. If we enter down here, it's just way too low. The price can just reverse on us, right? So I actually want this candle to close green. Once it closes green, I want the next candle to close, or whatever candle will close red. And then from there, I'll be looking to take entry. Right now, I need this to push up a little higher. Volatility right now is currently at 22. It's not that low. It's decent. And And I'll be looking to take entry right here on the 10 or even higher if that's the case. All right. Yeah, price pushes higher, that's fine. Pushing up, looks like it's trying to reach, or it already did. So it reached that next level of liquidity right there. I don't know if anybody caught it, but it already hit. So every level of liquidity here that I marked up for you guys all hit. If you took one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, they all hit. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different levels of liquidity. I marked this up pre-market. They all went straight to full TP. So if you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, it's okay. Levels now is at 30. A little too close. See what level is this right here? 30 mark. So price is kind of pushing through here. We're looking for the retracement. Once we get the retracement here, then I mean we're pretty much solid, but until we get that retracement, it's not really too much for all right, so the entry is going to be there at the 30 mark if possible. I'm gonna put my pending order right there. And we'll see if it fills.
Order filled.
So we'll see here. I need to watch it manually because obviously I don't have the pending the order right there. So I'm gonna watch it as it pushes up and manually close it out if it pushes up to TP. All right, I just gotta continue looking at it because I don't have any way to close it out unless I put I'm just gonna watch it, it's easier. The only problem with this trade here is that it was a little overextended, but we'll see. I don't want to look back at it. It's too hard for me to look back right now, specifically. It's kind of annoying that I'm not able to put the TP there, but what can we do with these copy accounts? Price is pushing up. ATR is at 21. Volatility like died down immediately when we got into the entry. It's kind of annoying.
Order filled.
Out. There we go. That was nice. I fucking got that. I got that spike to the upside. Yeah. So maybe it's a good thing we don't have our. Yeah, I should have held on to it. That thing was like because it pushed up and I don't have my TP set. So I was like, as soon as it pushed up, I was like, I gotta get out of this position. If I would have held on to it, would have been nicer, but it's all good. So maybe it's a good thing I'm exiting manually because I got like way more on that move. So nice work, guys. I just find it super funny because I was just complaining about like having to close it manually, and then I got more than I necessarily get most of the time. So that was a great trade, guys. That was awesome right there. you guys can see. So if you guys are patient, like literally we were waiting for this trade to come up. I didn't take no stupid trades over here. Like typically I'm like taking dumb trades, right? I'm like looking at news and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't take this trade, and I still take it anyways. And then I lose, and then I kick myself over it because I'm like, man, I'm so stupid. Like I should have just waited. And we waited for this one. I didn't let FOMO get to me today, and played out perfect. Like little to no drawdown, like basically no drawdown at all. Price filled it. It sat around this area. Volatility was low. We caught the breakout because we already knew price was going to push up. And it looks like it just blasted. Yeah, it blasted to the next level of liquidity right here. So I wouldn't have taken this trade here specifically, guys, because obviously the candle's too big, it has to retrace. What you want to look for is if price comes back for the second touch, then possibly opportunity for liquidity right there. So just watch for the second touch. I want to wait for the retracement because this candle obviously was like way too big. This is where they trap people. They push the candle up really high, people chase it, and then they get caught in this little mess right here. So, all right. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said went straight to the 30-minute liquidity. Cameron says he's calling it for the week. Nice work, Cameron. Yeah, if you guys have profits to post up, feel free to send them in. Cameron's going to call it. So I'll see you back here on Monday, Cameron. Actually, on Tuesday. So guys, just a reminder, I'm leaving for vacation right after this live session. So I might have to cut out a little early today before 8. I got to run to the airport. I'm flying to Mexico today. Weather sucks. So hopefully my flight does not get delayed. But yeah, it's super cloudy here. There's random storms coming. But yeah, just a reminder, guys, no live session and no mentoring session on Monday. I kind of debated whether I should take my laptop with me, but I'm just going to enjoy the weekend. You know, I rarely go on vacation anymore. And I think it's best to just have a cleanse. So no trading for a whole weekend and then come back on Monday fresh or come back on Tuesday fresh. So, all right, Dijon's done for the day. Cameron's done for the day. Let's see if there's anything else here. Yeah, everyone said it was a nice trade. Definitely. Solid. Nice. So you guys did pretty good. Yeah, Marcin said TP with a heart attack. Cameron said, why can't a replay be like that? I agree. All right, solid. Yeah, it looks like Marcin caught it, Vince caught it, Maddie caught it, Sisu caught it, Vince caught it, other Vince, CJ got it, Cameron got it. Nice. Yeah, great work, guys. But yeah, I'll stay on for a little bit and I'll see if there's any other entries that we can take, but it's already 7:30. So I don't think, usually around 7:30, volatility starts to die down. So I'll hang around for a bit. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you guys have profit to post up, feel free to send them in as well. I'll stay on here and I'll look for another entry, but I don't think we're going to get another setup from now until like 8 o'clock. Because the thing is, the volatility is starting to die down. Look at these candles right here. Starting to get flat, right? So if they stay flat like that, then the ATR is just going to continue dropping. It's at 22 right now. If it goes below 15, definitely no entries, but we'll see if it picks up. If it picks up, great. Maybe we'll have one more entry, but for the moment, I'm going to take a screenshot of this right here. I think this is a great way to close out the week though, guys. So if you guys don't have to trade, I would just wrap it up because a lot of you guys took all the liquidity already. So you took like 5 levels of liquidity here, 5 different opportunities to make profit today during this live session. And then on top of that, one official entry right here with a momentum pullback scalp. So basically 6 opportunities today to make profit with me here on the live session. And as we get closer to 8 o'clock, obviously it would be better for you to just wrap it up. You guys got to keep in mind that today's Friday. It's a high impact news day. So expect the market to be very volatile. Last thing you want to do is still weigh your profits, taking, a risky trade as we continue on with the session. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the update over here real quick for that trade. Yeah, this thing is still pushing. So it is still pushing, but like I mentioned earlier, I don't think we're going to get another setup because we need an opposite sell signal. So we need a sell signal like this. We need another setup like this to happen. We need price to consolidate a bit, pull back, give us another direction, and then go for an entry, right? I don't think that's going to happen in the next 30 minutes because it's just not enough time. But we'll see. I'll hang out with you guys here for a bit. Let's see, question from Marcin. So Marcin is asking about the liquidity. I don't think it was much of a pullback yet. Yeah, because it's overextended, Marcin. So I don't think it's enough of a pullback yet to take entry. I mean, it did hit. Actually, no. So when you're looking for this right here, you don't necessarily need a pullback. You can just have a retracement, or not. I mean, not retracement, consolidation. So see right here, our price consolidated a little bit. This is okay to look for the second touch. That's why it's crazy, because I put the entry right here, and it literally went to that same point where I pushed it to, because you just want to look for a couple of things when price gets too high. So let me see if I could. I'm still confused with these tools here. Okay, so say for example right here, right? See how price went up to this blue line over here? I mean, it didn't actually touch liquidity, but it went up to this level right here, and it just consolidated a bit, right? It did retrace right here, but it ended up pushing back up, and then it went straight through, right? Same with this over here for the liquidity push. For the liquidity push right here, it can do one of two things. It can either consolidate here a bit and then go for a second touch where it ends up hitting TP, or you can wait for that retracement where price pushes up, then retraces, and then consolidates, and then goes up. So you don't necessarily have to wait for a pullback. You can just wait for consolidation. I guess this consolidation was a little short. There's only like about five candles. So maybe, yeah, it would be considered risky in my opinion, but this is a type of entry that a lot of people would still take, because we were mainly looking for that second touch right there. Let me check to see if it was overextended, like you mentioned. I think it was, but I mean, we'll see. Let's measure it. Price range from this low right here up to here. Yeah, it was overextended. So in my opinion, I would probably have waited for a little bit more of a consolidation or farther pullback, but I know a lot of people still take the trade, because this is basically where price was. So price touched it right here, and I was like, okay, wait for the pullback or retracement or consolidation or whatever it may be, and then go for that second touch, right? So consolidation, second touch to TP. But yeah, that's why the liquidity pushes are a little more subjective. So I would recommend, if you guys want to take these liquidity pushes, go back and review every live session that I do, because I do the same thing every day, right? Go back and review the live sessions and then listen to my analysis, because I'll give you guys different analysis. Market's different every day. Sometimes I'll say, okay, we're going to wait for the pullback, or we're going to wait for consolidation, or we're going to not even take this entry at all because it's against the bias. For today, there wasn't really much of a bias, right? Everything was kind of like mixed. So we had bullish sentiment, bearish fundamentals, and then the technicals were mixed. So with this case, you don't really have to wait for a big pullback, because you know price can really go in either direction. If everything here was, say, bullish, like say retail sentiment was bullish, fundamentals were bullish, technicals were bullish, in that case, then this would be an okay trade, right, Marcin? Because you already know price is going to go up. So if price does push up and hit your liquidity, odds of that hitting are, very likely. So if this was all bullish here, like bullish, then I would take this with just this small touch here. But since right here it's kind of mixed, I think you would have been safer waiting for a bigger pullback and push through. But it's always going to be different. The market's not always going to be the same. Sometimes volatility is higher than others. Today, volatility was high based off the news. You can see pretty much from, okay, so let's go from 6:30 market open up until now, right? So look over here from 6:30, the ETR was at 17, right? And then it starts to pick up. It's at 23, 24, and then now it's at 22. If you look at the market for the past like couple of days, it was like pretty much at like 17 all day, right? Volatility is too low. So in a situation like that, you definitely want to wait for a retracement. But for here, the market's fast enough where if it touches the liquidity a second time, it'll go straight to your TP. So yeah, hopefully that helps with your understanding. I know it might be a little confusing at first, but once you start looking at it enough times, it'll start to make sense. I mean, for me, it's hard for me to explain because I can just see this stuff just looking at the chart. But for me to explain to a beginner or somebody that's not at my level of like reading the charts, it might be a little daunting and it might be a little confusing, but don't worry, you'll get to that level eventually, Marcin. I mean, there's people in this group who trade liquidity better than me, and I created the strategy, right? I created it, but they focus on this more than I do, so they're able to see a lot of different things that even I can't see. So you might be a better liquidity trader than me at some point, Marcin. It's just a matter of practice and repetition. Yeah, exactly. Marcin said, thank you, Sean. Your experience amazes me how content so many market conditions. Yeah, exactly. There's a ton of market conditions and confluences that can really affect your decision making. But for me, I always try to go for for the highest quality trades. So like, for example, I probably wouldn't even touch a lot of these entries here. Maybe these up here, because we had a bullish sentiment, but I wouldn't really mess with these down here. Personally, that's just how I would see it. Yeah, exactly. CJ said watching those mentoring session videos over and over helps a lot. Yeah. So guys, if you guys have never attended a mentoring session, go to the mentoring session, because I can answer whatever questions you guys have and give you guys as many examples as you guys want. And again, if you guys are new here, just go to our website, kodikaitrades.com, click on unlock your free access, and you'll have access to pretty much everything. All the videos I've had, all the live sessions I've had over the past 7 years now. I mean, if you guys go to the YouTube channel, so this is a YouTube channel. I have over 1,200 videos. I don't know anybody that has more videos than me, like of live trading. I've been live trading for like 5 to 7 years now. I have mentoring sessions every week. I have over 1,200 videos, and these are all live trading videos. So I don't know anybody on YouTube that has more videos than me, that has been live trading, as long as I have. So if you guys want to go back, all my videos are recorded, so you can see how I traded. Like if you want to see how I traded, today's August 11th, right? If you want to go back to August 11th of last year, you can do that. Like, maybe you're just curious. Like, I wonder what Sean was doing last year in August. Was he still trading this well? Was he this consistent? You go back right here, August stream from August 11th, right? You click on that right there. August 11, 2002. And you can literally see how I was trading on the same exact day 1 year ago. Like I was in my other office at this point, and I used to have blonde hair back then. But yeah, if you guys go back, I was still marking up liquidity. Like, check this out. I have liquidity right there on the chart, right? So yeah, if you guys want to go back and watch to see how I was trading back then, and you guys can see it, we were still locking in like massive profits this time last year. This isn't new to us. We've been doing this for years. Yeah, if there's anything else here that you guys want me to cover, feel free to put them in the chat. Other than that, let's see. Randy said he took a second touch and spent most time in drawdown, but then it hit TP. Yeah, no, definitely, Randy. Looks like you kind of pulled back a little bit and it shot back to your TP right there. See if there's anything else that we're missing here. So let me look at everyone else's profits real quick before we miss it. So we have Maria over here, total profit of 355 for the day. Nice work, Maria. Solid profits for a Friday. Let's see, we have Randy over here. Randy had a small loss earlier, and then he made it right back on these trades this morning. So he took a trade here pre-market. Looks like, unfortunately, he got caught in a small loss, but everything else was solid. Total profit of 1,070 for the day. So nice recovery right there, Randy. We have Sam over here. Sam's second account, he just opened a new account. Total profit of 183 for the day. Nice work, Sam. Yeah, Sam's gonna let me know if like the funded trader is good, and then if it works well, then I'm gonna open an account with them too and just add them to my copier. We have Vincent over here. He said slippage went crazy. Oh yeah, no, slippage for sure went crazy for Vince over here. Vince usually makes like 300 a trade. He made 1,130 on this one. So total profit of 1,540 for the day. Nice work, Vince. Yeah, that's solid. He said he made back his losses from yesterday. That's really that's the key thing there, making back your losses and continuing on. Back to the chart, guys. If you guys are still trading, you can see that the market is not doing anything right now. This is why I told you guys I was probably not going to take any more trades, because the volatility has literally died. And we already anticipated this to happen. So if you guys don't have to trade, don't trade, right? Because the volatility is pretty much flat right now. It hasn't moved in the last like 10, 15 minutes. We got some more profits over here from Patricia. Patricia locked in a total profit of 1,885 on this account. Nice work, Patricia. And then Patricia's other accounts over here, total profit of 2,430 for the week on her first account, total profit of 2,990 on her second account, and a total profit of 1,446 on her third account right here, all wins. Nice work, Patricia. So solid profits for the week so far for a lot of you guys. We have Andreas over here, total profit of 4,140 for the day. Nice work, Andreas. I think this is like the most profit I've seen from you in a while, Andreas. So nice profits for the day, especially again on a Friday and a heavy news day. Because yeah, typically Andreas is locking like maybe 1,000. So this is from yesterday. He locked in 1,000. The day before that, he locked in 900. You know, the day before that, he locked in 1,000. Today's like probably your biggest day, 4,100. Pretty amazing to see a lot of you guys here doing that. You know, you guys are lapping over me. You guys made more profit than I did today. Dijon here as well, total profit of 450 for the day. Nice work, Dijon, all wins. So I think those are pretty much all the profits for today so far. We got Kip here, total profit of 18,099 for the week. So great work right there, Kip. We have Casey over here as Kip's brother, total profit of 1,979 for the day, all wins. Great work, Casey. We have Sisu here, total profit of 3,000 on his first account, total profit of 3,650 on his second account, and a total profit of 3,400 on his third account. Amazing work right there, guys. You guys are great. I didn't even take a screenshot of my profits yet. I haven't covered everybody. And here goes Kip. Kip's on the top leaderboard on TFF. So if you guys, that's crazy. This guy over here is making 52,000 though. Number one's 52,000. Cliff over here is number 2. You can see Cliff USA. Profit of 17,000. Great work, Cliff. It's crazy. I mean, it's nice to see a lot of you guys here on the leaderboards on these funding companies because you guys are in our community. So like, you know, they're like a representation of all of us guys. Like even if you're not on the leaderboard or if you're not even funded yet, these are like the people you trade with every day. If you see them on your leaderboard, you know, how many times will you know somebody personally who you trade with who is like on the trading leaderboard, right? For the freaking world. Like Cliff is leading the USA. He's the only person in USA that's on the leaderboard right here on TFF. We have people from Afghanistan, people from Kyrgyzstan. I don't know. It's crazy. So nice work right there, guys. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else. We have Gian here, total profit of 3,126 for the day. Nice work, Gian. Yeah, solid profits right there. 3,000 for the day. We got Andrew over here, total profit of 1,516. Nice work, Andrew. We got Anelli over here. Anelli said, so Anelli logged in a total profit of 1,911. Unfortunately, took one loss there, but it's all good. You know what happens. Let me see what happened here. So Anelli said, not exactly sure what happened on the first trade. My TP should have been at 35,048, but it was a bit lower, so we got caught in the spread. Yeah, so unfortunately, Anelli here, he was supposed to hit his TP there, but he got caught in the trade and he ended up eating a loss. I think you're on here right now, Anelli, right? Let me see if I can I'll just explain it to you on here versus typing it up. Let's see if my dude's on here. Yeah, he is. Yeah, so I think what happened here is, and I'm looking at the timestamp of your trade, it happened at 6:31. I think you got caught in slippage. So what happened was you entered the trade and then your MT4, it was just too slow and it set your TP at a wrong price point. And that's kind of why you got stuck. Because, you know, if you look over here at 6:31, you took that entry. Yeah, like the big spike right here, right? You took a sell. Yeah, you took the sell. So unfortunately, you took the sell and there was a big spike right there. So I think you just got caught in some slippage, unfortunately. It happens like, it happens to me sometimes, but a lot of times it happens in my favor. Like price will spike and I get in before the spike. And then my TP is like, it passes my TP, so I have to manually close out of it. And then I end up getting like way more profit. That actually happened to me earlier this week, I think. So let me see my profits from that one day. I think it was on Monday. Yeah, like so over here, so I only took 100 lots. I was supposed to make 1,000. This actually, it worked, but in my favor. I locked in 1,890. My profit was supposed to be 1,000. You can see the timestamp. I took it at open too. So there's a lot of slippage right there. There's like a lot of volatility. And the same thing happened to me here, but it happened in my favor versus you. It happened against your favor. So it happens pretty often, especially if you take trades on open. I was taking a liquidity push right here and it ended up just blasting right through. So unfortunately, it happens in a good way and sometimes in a bad way. So either like when you take trades on open, just make sure that you're watching it. And I would just recommend to manually close it out versus letting it hit your TP, because that's what happened to me. If I didn't close this trade out where I hit the extra profit, I would have taken a loss. or I would have been I wouldn't have gotten close to what that profit would have been. So luckily I closed it out and I was watching it manually, because if not, I would have been, I would have ate like a bad trade on that specific move. Gotcha. Yeah. So Medusa, yeah, it happened on the pullback we took today. Yeah, you just have to manually watch it, because sometimes the slippage will get to you. And yeah, same with the pullback right here too. Like the one that you just mentioned. This spike over here, if I wasn't watching it, it probably wouldn't have closed me out, because it just happened so quickly. But yeah, it happens. All right, some profit from Ross over here. Ross locked in a total profit of 9,124 for the day. Nice work, Ross. Great profit for the day. Yeah, again, for a Friday, you guys did pretty good for a Friday, honestly. Like it amazes me to see how well you guys did. It's like a message, Casey. Yeah, Medusa, yeah, thanks. My last trade should have been 700 on the pullback, but it pretty much doubled when it pushed up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it actually worked out in your favor right here, Medusa. So it didn't work out in your favor here on the opening trade, and then on the pullback, it actually worked out in your favor. You locked into 2,378 or 2,387. So yeah, I mean, it worked out in your favor. It kind of like gave you some money back after taking your money on that first trade. Other than that, let's see, one more question from James. James is asking, do you know any way to get more 1 minute data on the back test? Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, I wish there was a way to do that, James. I was looking for the same thing as well, but you could only go back so far. The only way that I know how to get like as far back as possible is if you just go all the way back. So I don't know if you tried this. It doesn't go that far back, but let me see. I don't know if it even works anymore. It used to work before, but I think they probably fixed it. It was a little glitch that you could do. Like you would go back as far as possible. No, it looks like they fixed it. Yeah, they fixed it, because what you could do before is you could go back like as far as possible, and then you can just hit the replay button and then more data will come up. But it looks like they fixed it, because you don't even have to hit the replay button anymore. So let's see, this goes back to July 23rd. Yeah, it doesn't work anymore. Yeah, so unfortunately, James, they fixed it. There was a glitch here where you could go back to the last date. If you hit replay on that last bar, it would open more data. But yeah, unfortunately, they don't. I think they just caught on. People are using it. Yeah, no, I think there's a way, James, but you have to use a different platform, and the platform, it's not really gonna be beneficial because you can't use the indicators on there. So I don't think there's a way to do it, at least not right now. But yeah, that'd be cool, because then I would pay for data, right? So just because you can just go back so far back and just test it. That's why I want to test the momentum pullback scalp like pre-summer, because we can only go back to July. I'm curious to see how this moves like, in September, because we're going into September. So I'm wondering if the increased volatility is going to be an issue for us. Let's see, Marston's asking, in case I do not have your indicators yet, hope to get them soon. There's a price difference between MFF. So Marston's basically asking, due to the price difference, how should he mark up liquidity levels on MT4 so that he can trade on his own? What I would recommend, Marston, is to have two different screens. Have a trading view screen like me here. Like you see how I have my trading view here, and I mark up my lines. So I'll mark up my lines here, and then what you can do is you can go on your trading view, mark up your lines here, and then just enter your trades on MT4. I don't use MT4 at all. I mean, I think everybody agrees with me. MT4 is really outdated, and it's like you're trading in the 1990s. Like that platform is so old. I don't know I don't understand how people can mark up on MT4 and still trade on there, because that thing is so dated, and like the tools on there aren't even like that. They're not that clear. Like you can't mark them up as, like you can't just use a magnet tool like this, right? And then just mark up the liquidity area there. So what I would recommend is mark up your charts on TradingView and then have a separate screen, or just trade on your phone and just enter trades when price hits liquidity, right? Because the price difference, it's going to be impossible. There's no way that you can match the pricing. Because the thing is, like, so Marcin is asking, you know, there's a price difference between MFF, TradingView, YM, MT4 in general. Every broker is going to have different data. So if you look at the price here on TradingView, this is a raw price. This is the actual price that you want to look at. FTMO, they set their own price because they have their own servers. And then MFF sets their own price because they have their own servers too. And then if you use another broker like Funded Trader, they're going to have their own price too because they use a different broker. So I think your best option is to just look at the movement on your trading view and then enter manually on your MT4. That's how I trade. I've never used any of the tools on MT4. It's just too dated for me, right? Unless like you're really good at MT4, then, you know, maybe you can figure out a way. But if you're asking the question, you know, MT4 is probably not your best platform either. So I'm not an MT4 expert. I can't give you any advice on MT4 because I don't even like using MT4. That's why I started using Top Step because it's so much easier to trade directly, you know, on this platform. So, all right, let me see if there's any other questions here before well, actually, I didn't even take a screenshot of my profits. Let me do that real quick. Almost forgot to screenshot my profits. And then we'll wrap it up for the day. Yeah, Marcin said that is a very useful answer, Sean. I'll get it set that way for next week. Yeah, that's just the way I've been trading myself, Marcin. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I do because that's how I know things work. And I'm always looking for your best interest, right? If there was a good way to do it on MT4, I would tell you, but unfortunately there isn't. So best option is just to take the trades manually on your MT4. And you should probably use a quick trade manager as well. I mean, that's what I use. If you don't have FTMO, you can use the DOM, the Death Market tool, and that works as well. So there goes my profits right there. I'll take my individual screenshots of the profits as well. And then we'll wrap up this trading week. This week was actually pretty good, guys. I know we took a loss yesterday. That was my mistake, or I don't know if it was yesterday, but we took a loss at some point, and that was my bad. I take all blame for that. My main account. So here goes my main account. Second one. I just realized the slippage on like that momentum pullback scalp was pretty crazy because my profits are like kind of all over the place. All right. All right, so let me go and take a screenshot of my Top Step 2. So here goes my Top Step account. I just took one trade today. Let's see if my other one. So I made 1,275 on that one. Let me check my other Top Step. Yeah, same thing. That's what I like about Top Step. They're so on point. There's not really much slippage, even though I'm trading like multiple accounts and they're actually executing differently. So my Top Step is the same. Let me go and post up my profits here for my my main accounts. There. All right, so let me just copy this over. So here's my my top step account up in 1,275. Here goes my MFF. This is my main account. You can see the green strip. It hit my TP and there's some massive slippage here. So you can see I locked in 2,280, actually 2,260. I was only supposed to lock in 1,000 on this, but it actually gave me more than double because of the slippage. So you can see the green strip. So it did hit my TP, but it blasted right through before it actually closed out. So 2,200 on this one. Here's my second FTMO account, total profit of 1,560. Here's my FTMO number 3 account, total profit of 1,560 as well. My fourth FTMO total profit of 1,560. My MFF total profit of 1,260. My second second MFF 1,260, and then my MFF number 3 total profit of 1,260 as well. And then lastly, my my second top step account. So I mean, it's pretty solid for the most part. All the profits I locked in right here. So if I do the math and I just add this up, so like I have 2 accounts on top step, 1,275 times 2, that's 2,550 plus my FTMO plus 2,260 plus my second account 1,560, third account 1,560, fourth account 1,560. I actually did pretty good today. Now that I'm doing the math here, 13,270 for just that one trade across multiple accounts. So 4 FTMO accounts, I didn't realize I even did that well off that one trade. So this is the power of just having one quality trade. And I mean, pretty much just wrapping it up, right? Like if you just wrap it up and you do proper moves like this, like there was another momentum pullback scalp right here. I just noticed it. We had a buy signal right here. This candle retraced down. Entry would have happened at this lower level right here. And it went straight to TP. Obviously, I didn't take it, so I'm not going to count it, but it did play out perfect right there. So pretty solid. Yeah, Maddie said the 741 candle hit, and he decided to, but he didn't take it as well. Let's see, Randy said he used the videos from last year, September, to backtest the momentum pullback only for the first week because it was too tedious. And he didn't properly document, but it still worked out pretty good. Nice work, Randy. Okay, thanks for doing that. So now that I know, it works well. Marcin said, thank you for the week. Have a great holiday, Sean, and great weekend to everyone. Yeah, definitely, Marcin. So I'll see you back here on Tuesday. If there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat, but I pretty much posted up all of the profits. I think there's a couple more here to look at. Barack over here locked in a total profit of 2,143 for the day. Nice work, Barack. Great work on locking that in. He came in a little late today, but he still locked in those profits. Other than that, we have Kenneth over here. Unfortunately, Kenneth over here got kind of stuck in one of the positions. He hit one of his stop losses on one of the liquidity pushes and he ended up in the negative, but he's going to call it a day because, obviously it's going to revenge trade if that's the case. Good idea, especially for Friday. So that's a key thing, guys. If you guys are able to like understand that you made a mistake and then stop trading to avoid revenge trading, that's a key thing. A lot of people can't do that. And I think that's going to be the difference between, being a consistently profitable trader and being an up and down trader. So, all right, guys, it's about to be 8 o'clock. I'm pretty much done with all of my trades for the day. We took that one trade, full TP on there. I locked in a total profit of 13,270 across all my accounts for the day. So that was a pretty good profit across, all of my accounts for just one trade. So other than that, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. Again, just a reminder, I'm not going to be here on Monday. I'm going to be on vacation in Mexico. So I got to fly out right now. I got to run to the airport. And I'll see you guys back here on Tuesday. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me. I probably won't get back to you until Tuesday because I'm not going to be bringing my laptop on my holiday with me. I'll just be kicking back and drinking some margaritas.